I'd been watching blacksmithing videos and I found this piece of rail track. I'd known that people would use these things for anvils. I'm like, that's it. That's my first piece. I carried that thing around in a backpack, like as I walked around, to actually remind me to continue to pursue this thing. So yeah, I did that for like a year. I actually ended up building my first forge out of an 8-inch frying pan. So I got some plumbing parts, put it together in a fan from a bathroom, and made my first forge. I would go out to the tracks on the east side of Chicago where they barge in coal, but there would always be spillovers of coal. So I'd go out there and collect buckets of coal. I went for about a year learning how to start a fire and run a fire, because you just have to know it. And you start realizing how to make mistakes with fire. I enjoy having the capabilities of not so much doing things, but knowing how to figure out how to do things. That's the real draw. As a blacksmith, everything is shared. It always seems like an equitable arrangement between you and the people that do this. Everybody wants you to know you're capable. And if you're not capable right now, let me show you how to be capable. There's a saying that there's honesty and accuracy. There's a lot of truth in knowing that you're in a craft that you have a bucket of screw-ups. You know, and every single one of us have it, you know, so. I don't know, it's nice, it's humbling. 20 years ago, my dad built a house right across the street. And I used to work with my dad, and you know, I heard bang, bang, bang one night, and I'm like, what is that? And I drive by, and I drive by, and I drive by, and I hear, finally, I pulled in here, and I'd met Roger 20 years ago. I joined the IVBA, and I got a newsletter in the mail. This was almost 7 years ago, with this guy's address in it, Roger Carlson, who was my mentor. Came by the next day, got to talking with him. He says, well, yeah, I could use a little help around here. We hit it off, and it was just one of those things where everything fell right into place for me to be here at FRM Forge. He can't get rid of me. Oddly enough, his wife was my teacher my freshman year in high school, but me and Roger kind of attached at the hip. We're probably more family now than anything. It was a fast track. It really was a fast track. I walked into this. I am the luckiest boy in the world. And I really, truly am. I feel like a brat a lot of times. Because when I get down and I talk to people, I'm like, oh, in my shop we would do it this way. I'm like, well, nah, not everybody's as fortunate as you are. So, you know, I had to realize, I better shut up and listen to these guys, because they got more information than I do, truly. I have more tools, they have way more information. Roger, you know, he's my mentor. The guy's been doing this for 40 years. And his work is just astounding. A lot of guys that I know exist with that anvil, that hammer, that coal forge. Some of them are lucky enough to have a propane forge. Nothing is inexpensive. The saying goes, by hammer in hand, all crafts do stand. So there was a point in time where if the tailor needed a pair of scissors or a needle, he had to go to the blacksmith. Farmer needs his size sharpened, blacksmith. Everything was centralized around that smithy. And that smithy didn't want to do all those things, so he started doing, oh, I'm gonna mechanize this. I'm gonna make a tool for this. Bend it, cut it, you weld it. It's a limited amount of things you can do with this material. But the things that you see that have been done with that material, from the discovery of it and the discovery of the manipulation of it, we have the Industrial Revolution to everything that we do to this day. You know, we're in aerospace technology uses forging. It's as rudimentary as it gets. It's just a hammer. It's an air hammer, but it's just a hammer. Now, some of the things that we make are heirloom quality. We made a table here one time. I want to say that thing was nearly 9 feet long. 2 benches that went with it. That to me says there's going to be a large family sitting around. That's cool. You know, I really like that. Like, man, this is going to have good times, you know, around it for its existence. And when those people, you know, pass on or decide to downsize, somebody's gonna want that because they're gonna see the same thing that I saw when I made it. They're gonna see long tables are good times. The wine cellar gate that we made for the guy, it's an award-winning piece. A great sense of, good on you, man. Everybody's capable of doing what it is they do. I started this thing off when I was walking around. I had an idea. I just held on to the idea, you know?